out on the field. The pride of the Southland band crisply marches into the Giant T. The rear, the roar of 97,000 fans rises with each rhythmic step. In the background, George Beatsis is singing Fight, Balls, Fight. The orange and white Shakers flood the air. The Volunteers are ready at the north end of the football field to burst through the gate. They're coming now, racing onto the field through the Giant T. In that magic moment that says, wherever you are, it's football time in Tennessee.
Welcome to the Talkin' VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. We are just exactly 2 weeks away from Tennessee kicking off fall camp. A lot of things I'm excited to see. A lot of stuff on defense. What does Jawan Mitchell look like? What does the secondary look like? So many injuries, so beat up, banged up throughout spring camp. We don't really know what that secondary is going to look like, so that's going to be fun to watch. But again, the recruiting world is still rolling along. We've got Rico Walker scheduled to make his decision at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to be live for that. Come hang out at 3:30. Also, Nathan Laycock has let it be known he is going to make his decision on Friday. The 3-star wide receiver, heavily trending towards Tennessee. You know, Rico Walker, again, we're going to be live for that decision at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That one's taking some interesting turns. Maryland now seems to be a factor. Where are the Vols are at? Come hang out. We will count down to his commitment this afternoon. But today we're going to talk about a guy on offense, a guy that I think we're going to really have to lean on, and that is Bru McCoy. Which Bru McCoy does Tennessee get this fall? We're going to talk about it, get into it, but as always, do me a favor, go ahead and smash that like button just below the video. It's quick, it's free, it's easy. It helps the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you're new to the Talkin' VAWLS Network, welcome. We're not experts. We're not insiders. We are fans just like you. For the fans, by the fans. If you like what we do, make sure you subscribe. Click that bell for notifications. You won't miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. It's going to be a busy week. Again, we're going to go live today, 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time, counting down to that commitment from Rico Walker. Every single Tuesday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Play a little NCAA 2013, but more importantly, we hang out and talk Vol football. So if you like to just sit back, have a relaxed conversation, the chat throws up questions, we go back and forth. It's a good time. Come hang out. Tuesday nights, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Going to be breaking down the Tennessee defense for the 2022 season. And then Thursday evening, going to go live and break down Josh Heupel's comments at SEC Media Days. But let's jump into this article from 24/7 Sports. I wanted to talk a little bit about Bru McCoy because, again, I feel like he is a big part of this offense. We know what we're getting in Hendon Hooker. We know what we are getting in Cedric Tillman. We're returning 4 out of 5 offensive linemen. Offensive line has to be better at protecting the quarterback, but I think they're going to take a step forward. We know what we're getting in Jabari Small. Can he stay healthy? That's going to be the key for 2022 at the running back position. But when you look at wide receivers, outside of Cedric Tillman, there is a whole lot of question marks, whole lot of concerns, whole lot of things to be excited about. We can be positive. We can put a positive spin on it. Which Bru McCoy does Tennessee get this fall? This is a good article over at 24/7 Sports, so I thought we could use it, kind of bring up some points and go through it. This is written by Patrick Brown. They're kind of doing a breakdown. Tennessee's 22 most important players for 2022, and they have Bru McCoy listed at number 18. I would disagree with that. I would put him up way higher than 18. I think he is crucial for this offense in 2022, a guy that's going to be able to take some pressure off of Cedric Tillman on the other side. But let's go in and take a look at it. We're going to scroll down here and get the player profile. 6'3", 220 pounds, obviously transferred in from Southern Cal. But in 2019, he was the number 1 ranked athlete in the class. So again, which Bru McCoy are we getting? Because when you go down and look at his career stats here, 2019, as a freshman at USC, redshirted after missing the season due to an illness. And I don't know what happened there, but whatever reason, he was sick, he was ill, he did not play the entire season. Now there were some question marks too because he ended up going to Texas, transferred back to USC. Then in 2020, he actually got some action in the shortened COVID year, 21 receptions for 236 yards and 2 touchdowns while playing in all 6 games. Again, that was the COVID shortened season. Then in 2021, that's where the off-field troubles come in, missed the entire season while suspended following an arrest in July on suspicion of domestic violence. But again, they've got it highlighted right there. Ultimately, was not charged. So when you talk about baggage and what he's bringing with him, the bottom line is he was not charged. And a lot of people have questioned his eligibility going into the 22 season. A lot of people say he's not going to be eligible. He's not going to be able to play. Austin Price just confirmed this past week all things are on track for Bru McCoy to be eligible this fall. So take it for what it's worth. I'm expecting him to play football in 2022. So here we go on and talk about the 2022 outlook. Talks about his pandemic-shortened 2020 season. The guys that he played with, first-round draft pick, fourth-round draft pick. Goes on to talk about the domestic violence. Now, let's get into Tennessee because I don't really care about what happened at USC. That's in the past, and that's the thing. I think a change of scenery, moving across the country. Velus Jones, very outspoken. Chase McGrath, very outspoken about getting Bru McCoy to Knoxville, and a change of scenery, a change of culture. And I've seen Bru McCoy talk about the culture that Josh Heupel has created, and that's what led him to Tennessee. The article here says Tennessee badly needed to upgrade the quantity and quality of its outside receivers, not named Cedric Tillman, the breakout star for the VAWLS, who goes into this season as the SEC's top returning receiver. It's got the numbers there, over 1,000 yards, 12 touchdowns. The VAWLS couldn't necessarily rely on developing their returning players, or throwing a freshman out there wouldn't deter opposing defenses from focusing on Tillman. Again, that's why Bru McCoy having success is such a big deal for me, because we've got to give Tillman some help on the opposite side. Otherwise, you're going to have defenses rolling safeties to the left. If that's where Tillman's lined up, they're going to put more pressure on Cedric Tillman, and the whole offense is going to struggle from that. It goes on to say the portal offered the opportunity for a more proven plug-and-play option. The VAWLS went hard after McCoy when Wyoming's Isaiah Nair flipped his commitment to Texas in January. Says McCoy's career hasn't gone how he planned so far, but the move to Tennessee offers him a fresh start in an offense that should allow him to flourish. If healthy and hitting the ground running, it might not take him long to settle in starting outside receiver opposite of Tillman. Those are big shoes to fill. Impact Javonte Payton made with his speed and home run ability went beyond the box scores last season. And that's the thing. Javonte Payton was a home run threat last year. You can see there the numbers: 22.9 yards per catch, 6 touchdowns, 18 receptions. A third of his receptions went for touchdowns. Bru McCoy is a different type of wide receiver. Bru McCoy is more of another Cedric Tillman on the opposite side. So it's going to be interesting to see how this coaching staff utilizes McCoy, what that looks like, because I feel like the schemes they had set up for Peyton were so much different than what they had set up for Tillman. But on the flip side of that, you've got Jalen Hyatt in the slot, a guy that's got SEC level speed, elite level speed. We've seen him burn Alabama defensive backs. So if Javonte Payton can be replaced by Bru McCoy, but you bring in Jalen Hyatt in the slot, let him stretch the field vertically from the inside, this offense can be dangerous. But again, it's questions. It's questions. Goes on to talk about why they ranked Bru McCoy 18th. Same spot. Some spots on this countdown will be filled by positions rather than players. As Tennessee, like pretty much every team, has some competitions to sort out going into the season. This spot is something of a combination of the two. VAWLS obviously need a third starting wideout, whoever it is, to step up and provide consistent playmaking and production. And for all intents and purposes, they are expecting and hoping McCoy will do exactly that. That's why they went out and got him after the pursuit of Nair in January came up empty. McCoy is a different player than Payton, different from Nair, but it shouldn't change much in the way of expectations. Built like a linebacker, McCoy isn't a burner. Again, that's what I just talked about. The way they would scheme up Javonte Payton going to be a little bit different than how they use Bru McCoy. Said his long strides chew up ground quicker than you think. That helps him create separation on routes and eat up yards after the catch. Again, we've talked a lot about that when you're looking at tape for high school kids and speed, lack of speed, route running. If you don't have that elite level speed, you're route running. If you run good, crisp routes, that's how you create separation. And also, look at Tillman. Tillman's not the fastest guy on the field. Josh Heupel, this coaching staff, they're going to scheme guys open. We saw it all year long. All Hendon Hooker has to do is put the ball on the numbers, and we're good to go. They're going to scheme guys open. We saw it all year long. Says here that Bru McCoy should still be able to stretch the field vertically, but the biggest problems he'll create for opposing defenses come from his size and strength. McCoy is tough to defend on 50-50 balls, and it is just hard for one defender to get him to the ground. Tennessee's pace and space offense should afford him plenty of single coverage. Of course, McCoy has to go out and earn it. VAWLS are high on the potential of freshmen Chaz Nimrod, Caleb Webb, after seeing their work ethic, their flashes in the spring, and their additions prompted a response from the likes of Ramel Keaton and Jimmy Holiday during spring ball. Those two could still have a part to play This fall, thanks to what they could bring to the offense, Tennessee's desire to play more receivers, opportunities outside might be more limited with the Vols to take Tillman off the field very often. You know, Ramel Keaton's a guy that before McCoy jumped in the boat, before McCoy let it be known that he was coming to Tennessee, Ramel Keaton was a guy that I was looking to step up, take that next step, be that Cedric Tillman, a guy that hasn't done a lot in his career. Could he be the guy? But competition breeds success, and now you've got McCoy, Keaton, Jimmy Holiday, the talented wide receiver that came in the class of 22, the young freshmen, Chaz Nimrod, Caleb Webb, Squirrel White. Those guys, I don't want them on the field this year. I hope guys like Ramel Keaton, Jimmy Holiday step up. Let those young guys continue to develop and get better. Article wraps up here, says, behind Tillman, though, Tennessee isn't exactly proven. That's across the board with the wide receiver position. Across the board, not proven. Keaton has 20 catches in 3 seasons. Holiday has 1 in 2 seasons. Walker Merrill caught 4 of his 5 passes in 2021 against Tennessee Tech. And Nimrod and Webb are freshmen. Of course, Tillman went into last season with 8 catches in 3 years. Again, that's why I wanted to see Ramel Keaton take that step last year, because we saw Tillman do it in year 1 of this coaching staff. But Keaton really didn't do anything. But again, look at Jalen Hyatt, a guy that didn't do anything in year 1, and there's a lot of positive energy around Jalen Hyatt going into this 2022 season. But again, he's got to prove it. We got to see it on the field this fall. Says if VAWLS felt better about their complimentary outside options for Tillman, they probably don't go out and take a portal with some risk like McCoy. Now it's up to him to change the narrative of his career from 2 missed seasons and the back and forth movement between USC and Texas in 2009 and make it about what he does on the field. Again, I think a change of scenery is going to be good for Bru McCoy. Hit that comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Which Bru McCoy do we get? Bru who? Which McCoy do we get? The number 1 athlete in the class of 2019, or the guy that was kind of irrelevant and played 1 year out of 3 at USC? Hit the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to join me live 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time, counting down to that Rico Walker commitment. Also, make sure you smash the thumbs up on the way out the door. Go check out the merch. You guys know where. Bonfire.com/store/TalkinVols. The links are in the description below. That's going to do it for this one. See you guys live in just a little bit. This is the Talkin' Vols Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big